Welcome everybody to The Way We See It, episode 4. Um, this is 87, Gen 87, Tech Junkie 28, and I'm Luis Carlos Jr. Now, today the main focus of our conversation is about the Casey trial that recently went on. Now, I remember when they found her not guilty, everybody on Facebook was boom, 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 boom. Like, she should have died, she should have died, she should have gone to the chair. Everybody on Facebook wrote down how she deserved the chair, she deserved to, she was guilty. I can't believe they not found her guilty.
Hell and all these things.
Yeah, everybody, the public had already condemned her as doing it. And my idea was like, how do you know it wasn't the father? How do you know it wasn't the mother? Because you couldn't prove how she died to begin with. So you can't prove how she died. It could have been an accidental death, like they were saying she might have drowned in the pool. Or, somebody else.
But still, she could have been charged with child neglect or something. Not just scot-free, just walked out of the court with nothing.
Okay, but let's say, how can you claim
this.
child neglect if you don't know how she died? What if it was an accident?
But there was evidence showing that a month when she went missing, she was still out partying and everything.
She didn't care. She was a bad mother.
She didn't report it.
So she didn't care, but doesn't mean that she was neglectful to the child. You know what I mean? It wasn't child abuse. There wasn't proof that it was child abuse that she could have been charged of.
Still, there's parents that get charged with child neglect just for leaving their kids inside the car while they run into just to go get a glass of water or a bottled water or something.
But that couldn't have been proven that she left her somewhere, because that's what a lot of people can't get over. You didn't report her. Well, it took 31 days before she reported, oh, my daughter's missing.
So she was employed at reporting it?
Basically, it says one of the clouds that hung over this trial is a mother for 31 days did not report her missing daughter, and under Florida law, there's no provisions that she violated. So there's no law that you have to. And that's what they're doing now. They're trying to pass in 4 states the law, basically that if you don't report in a timely manner, it can be a felony, like a felony that within 24 hours of a death, you have to report the kid's death, and anyone under the age of 12. And notify that the kid ran away or whatever to the authorities.
It almost makes it seem that they knew that the kid died, but they knew that the only way to get out of it was for it to decompose, so people wouldn't know how she died. It almost seems like it was a perfect murder.
It seems like it was planned, and that was like where the mom lied on trial, saying that it wasn't Katie or not the mom, that she wasn't the one who. Because it was about web search about chloroform, and so the mom lied like, "Oh, it was me. I was the one doing those web searches." When later on it came out that she was at work, so it couldn't have been her who did those web searches. So there was a lot of lies, a lot of we don't know. Nobody's gonna know the truth that happened in that family, but you know what I mean. Somebody is dead. That's what they're saying. The poor little girl died, and nobody wants to confess how. Nobody could have been. I mean, my goodness, you're the grandfather, your mother. Come out with the truth. It became such a trial, such a long time that there was a risk of her. Let's say they would have found her guilty. Let's say they would have killed her. Why not just tell the truth? And maybe that's what happened. Maybe she did kill her. Maybe that's why they don't want to come out and say, what really happened. There was stories like, oh, she drowned in the pool, but I really don't know who said it. Do you guys know who said that she drowned in the pool? Was it the father? Yeah. But anyways, and there was also talks. I don't know in what state or what politician was trying to get rid of the death penalty, and I've always been for the death penalty. When you have to have faith in the system, and if you're beyond any reasonable doubt for certain people, and there's DNA proof that puts you in the crime scene. If it's such a heinous crime, or not recently, this Mexican national was executed in Texas because he raped a girl and then killed her. And so some people were I saw the article, even on Facebook, they were talking about it. It's not right because he should have given assistance from the Mexican government or something like that he would have helped him out. And I wrote.
Gonna kill him?
That's because Mexico doesn't believe in the death penalty. Mexico.
So they don't want him. They don't want them to kill him.
Basically, and Texas went against the second time. Back in the 90s, Texas did this, and it did it again. And I was just wrote down are you kidding me? You want him to get away with this? What if they take him to Mexico and Don't give him a crack. He raped and killed a girl. He deserves to die. You know, that's how I feel. Like some people say, what's the point of rotting away in jail where you get free, air conditioner, free bed, free food, free cable, you even get education,
tax money.
You're living. I'm sure it's not easy, but I'm sure it's easier than being a homeless person wandering the streets begging for money. Where you don't know if you're gonna eat that night. At least in jail, you know you're gonna eat. At least you have a bed. And so, and even like my mom says, her belief is the reason she feels that you should suffer and think those many years about what you did. But if it was true labor camps, like I think they do in China, then yeah, don't give them a death penalty. Make them work for their mistake.
Yeah.
Make them suffer. That like every day what you did, that person's not gonna come back. What do you think? Do you believe in the death penalty? Do you think it should be taken care of the books, or do you feel that it should be practiced?
Like for me, like I don't know. That's like a really like hard topic for me, like to say if I'm for it or against it, just because like my religious beliefs and stuff. Like I don't think it's right that like.
But in the Bible, God will order His people to kill other people.
I know, but it's not God who's ordering.
But he always said not to
kill. You know what I mean? Like if
what was it? The Italian law? What was it? Is it when they say eye for an eye?
Yeah, and we'll make the whole world blind.
He also says that not to use that. So I understand that, yeah, homeboy did rape her, killed her, and stuff like that. I mean, and we do feel like, no, he should die too. But at the same time, we can't really, I think it would be a lot more misery for him living and seeing that he messed up. Or
but
like,
at the same time, that's why too. Like maybe they're not even suffering. You know what I mean? It's like okay, if you send them to jail, maybe they're not even suffering. The ones that are like hurt, like really working for it is us. Like with our tax money, we keep them there. But at the same time, it's like okay, so you're gonna kill them, and that was the end of their suffering there. You know what I mean?
This is another question. Like the mafia lady that we saw. What was her name? The Black Widow.
Madrina.
Madrina. This woman has such good connections. She lived it up. Whatever she wanted in jail, she got.
See?
So at that point, she killed so many people, but they only proved her for like 12 people, I think, right? Mm-hmm. But she was a villain, the worst villain there is. She didn't care. She massacred anybody herself. She shot one of her husbands. And so those people, you put them in jail thinking like, oh, they're going to learn the lesson. No, they're not. They're going to make friends. They're going to pay off whoever they need to pay off because they have a lot of money behind them.
Especially with somebody with much money and power.
Yep.
Yeah, and they continue their evil doings from jail.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're not solving anything. You're not solving anything but putting people in jail.
Too?
And some of them escape.
I think they should keep the death penalty though.
I do. I honestly believe.
I might be against it a little bit, but I still think that's the better way
reason
out.
why
Just
I would
because.
be a little bit against it is because you just never know. There could be times where somebody can be falsely accused and everything points to them. But what if they really didn't do it? Like
everything points in the Casey trial.
I know, but you hear stories sometimes that like, oh, he served so many years in jail and it wasn't even him.
Because DNA now, that's the thing. DNA usually is the one that tells them, oh, they were never there. It wasn't that. It wasn't their semen. It wasn't their hair.
Mm-hmm.
They were not guilty.
Mm-hmm. But sometimes, like, I don't know. But sometimes, it could be like, oh, it was planned. Like everything was perfectly, to put this person, to falsely.
Well, I'm not talking about simple like one thing. I'm talking about serial people, like multiple murders, multiple rapes, where in every rape it's the same semen. Mm-hmm. I don't know what person's gonna go through somebody else's semen and take the time, take theirs out, put theirs in. Mm-hmm. So at that point is where I see, okay, beyond any doubt, with forensic science that we have now, yeah, they're guilty. They did it. They need to.
I think they should. I think they should just because you stop it. Yeah. You stop it at the other rate. You're just.
Okay, so that's basically how we feel today about those topics, the death penalty, the Casey trial. Let us know what you guys feel. How do you guys feel? She should have gotten the guilty verdict, that she should have been put to death. And also, what do you feel about the death penalty? How do you feel that it should continue or should it be abolished in this country? Let us know. Thank you.